Is there any player set to report to St. Vincent College a week from today who might have a bigger opportunity to dominate the boards and make an impact on the field than Patrick Queen? Good morning and welcome. It's midweek and I'm here to dive into what promises to be an intriguing season for the Steelers, especially with PQ leading the charge in the linebacker corps. If you're someone who follows Pittsburgh sports closely, you know just how critical his presence is going to be. Patrick Queen, or PQ as he's widely known and affectionately called around the team, had a standout rookie year with the Steelers in 2024. That was his first season wearing the black and gold, and right away he proved he belonged. When you compare his stats from his year in Baltimore in 2023 to his rookie year in Pittsburgh, the numbers are surprisingly close. It's almost like he picked up right where he left off, maybe even took a step forward in certain aspects. He started and played all 17 games, a testament to his durability and the trust the coaching staff put in him. In Baltimore, Queen racked up 133 tackles. In Pittsburgh, he wasn't far behind with 129. Tackles for loss were 9 with the Ravens and 6 with the Steelers, not a massive drop considering the adjustments he had to make. Quarterback hits came in at 6 for Baltimore and 5 for Pittsburgh. Forced fumbles were 1 and 2 respectively, showing some growth in playmaking ability. He also recovered 1 fumble in each stint. Passes defensed increased slightly from 6 to 7 when he switched teams. And here's a stat that might surprise some. He missed 14 tackles with the Ravens, but only 9 with the Steelers. Despite these solid stats, there's no denying that Queen wasn't quite himself throughout 2024. Many who watched closely noticed those early missed tackles, routine runs where players seemed to slip right past him. It was a tough start, and first impressions in football, much like in life, can leave a lasting mark. But what's impressive about PQ is his willingness to own those struggles instead of shying away. He never made excuses or pointed fingers. He laid it all out honestly when reflecting on his performances. One game that really stood out was the 6th week of the season in Las Vegas. Queen recorded a game-high 13 tackles, 4 more than he had achieved in any prior game that year. That included 6 solo tackles and 1 tackle for loss. It was clear he was finally settling into the defense, feeling comfortable and confident in his role. After the game, he told me directly that it was the one he'd been waiting for, a breakthrough moment. However, the season ended on a less encouraging note. The defense as a whole struggled badly over the final 4 games, plus the playoff loss. In Baltimore, watching his former teammate Roquan Smith on the opposing side excel only highlighted the perception that Queen's success in Baltimore was tied closely to playing alongside Smith. This narrative has become a bit of a burden, but PQ has never dodged it. He didn't fight back with statistics or accolades like being named to the Pro Bowl. Instead, he kept grinding quietly. When we spoke at minicamp, I asked him about the so-called green dot challenge, the responsibility of calling the defense. It was a big adjustment for him, having to learn a new system and command the defense as a single caller. But this season, he's past all that. He told me it feels like second nature now. Just putting his helmet on, hearing the communication around him, and knowing the playbook is ingrained gives him confidence to focus purely on playing football. He's ready to leave behind the everything's falling apart phase and the pressure of adapting to a new scheme. No more excuses. Just go out there and perform. That's a mindset that can't be taught. And when you consider the improvements around him, guys like Derek Harmon and Y.A. Black on the defensive front, Jalen Ramsey potentially slotting in at corner, a healthy Cole Holcomb aiding in coverage and sideline pursuit, and a more experienced Peyton Wilson in year 2. PQ's ceiling just got higher. Does he need to bounce back from a tough rookie campaign? Perhaps. But more importantly, he seems ready to prove that his best football is ahead of him. The potential to become a centerpiece of this defense is very real. The next chapter for PQ and the Steelers defense will be one to watch closely. That's the kind of story that excites fans and analysts alike. A player facing adversity head-on, growing into a leadership role, and surrounded by teammates who can elevate the entire unit. This isn't just about statistics or highlight plays. It's about a player maturing into the role expected of him and a defense reshaping itself to compete at the highest level. The conversation around Patrick Queen doesn't end just with his individual performance, because football is never truly about one player. It's about how the pieces fit together, how the scheme unfolds, and how coaching and execution come together on the field. That's why there's been plenty of debate about the Steelers' defense overall, especially when it comes to the work of Mike Tomlin and defensive coordinator Terrell Austin. Some critics have questioned whether the coaching staff has done enough to get the most out of a talented roster. Others point to the string of successes the team has had against tough opponents like the Baltimore Ravens, which suggests there's more than just talent at play. In fact, when you look at the recent history of Steelers versus Ravens matchups, the Steelers have managed to control the rivalry with remarkable consistency. Over a 4-year span, Pittsburgh won 7 of 8 meetings against Baltimore. That's no small feat considering the Ravens have arguably the most dynamic quarterback and one of the most unique offensive systems in the NFL. These results can't simply be chalked up to luck or a handful of standout players. It's a strong indicator that the coaching staff crafted a defense capable of matching up effectively against a formidable opponent. The evidence goes deeper when you consider how other teams tried to mimic the Steelers' defensive approach against Baltimore, only to find it difficult to replicate that same level of success. In January, when the coaches deviated from their usual scheme, the Ravens beat Pittsburgh decisively. This pointed back to the fact that the original defense, the one designed and perfected under Tomlin and Austin's leadership, was what worked best. The ability to design a system that confounds even the league's top offenses is a testament to good coaching, even if some fans don't always see it reflected in the box score. Still, the skepticism lingers in some circles. There's a tendency in sports to focus on the negatives, to nitpick mistakes, and to overlook the underlying progress or context. That's understandable. After all, every fan wants to see their team not only compete but dominate. And while coaching is a crucial piece, football is an ever-evolving game with constant challenges, from injuries to adapting to new players and adjusting strategies mid-season. That brings us back to PQ and the unique pressures he faced as our green dot linebacker, the guy responsible for calling the defense in the huddle. It's one of the toughest roles on the field, requiring not only physical talent but mental acuity and leadership. The burden of learning a new defense, communicating assignments, and adjusting to different offensive looks can weigh heavily on any player, let alone a rookie. Queen's honesty about the challenges he faced in this role shows a maturity that goes beyond raw athleticism. He didn't hide from the difficulty. He embraced it as part of his growth. His acknowledgement that the mental side of the game has now become second nature is crucial. When a player reaches that point, it frees up energy and focus to make plays instinctively and aggressively. It's no longer about processing information or doubting decisions. It's about trust in the system and confidence in oneself. That transition is often the difference between a good player and a great one. Looking ahead, the Steelers' defense has pieces in place that could unlock a higher level of performance for PQ and the unit as a whole. Adding players like Derek Harmon and Y.A. Black up front strengthens the pass rush and run defense. Jalen Ramsey potentially slotting in at cornerback offers versatility and experience in coverage. Having Cole Holcomb healthy means there's a seasoned presence to help cover sideline to sideline and support the linebackers. And with Peyton Wilson entering his second year, there's an infusion of youth and energy complementing the veteran leadership. What's exciting about this mix is the potential synergy. Football is a team sport in the truest sense. And when all parts move in harmony, individual talents shine even brighter. PQ's ability to read offenses, make tackles, and disrupt plays will be amplified when the defensive line is putting consistent pressure on quarterbacks and the secondary is locking down receivers. The pieces are starting to fall into place. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A sensational rumor has recently ignited the NFL community, sparking widespread speculation about a potential seismic shift in one of the league's most talked about quarterback situations. In what many are calling a bombshell revelation, Aaron Rodgers, one of the most prolific and scrutinized quarterbacks of his generation, has seemingly confirmed in an exclusive interview that a move to the Pittsburgh Steelers might be on the horizon. While the veteran signal caller did not outright announce a transfer, his comments have sent shockwaves through fans and analysts alike, stirring a whirlwind of excitement and curiosity about what this could mean for both Rodgers and the Steelers. For years, Aaron Rodgers has been synonymous with the Green Bay Packers, the franchise where he carved his legacy as a multiple-time MVP and a Super Bowl champion. Yet, as rumors of dissatisfaction and friction within the Packers organization have swirled, the possibility of Rodgers donning another team's colors has fueled endless debates. Now, with his latest whisper of a Steelers connection, the landscape seems poised for a dramatic change. The Steelers, known historically for their tough defenses and strong traditions, have been in need of a stable, elite quarterback since the departure of Ben Roethlisberger. The idea of Rodgers stepping in to fill that void has captivated the imagination of football enthusiasts everywhere. In the interview, Rodgers stopped short of confirming a finalized deal, but dropped enough hints to suggest that discussions might be underway or that an agreement could be imminent. His tone was cautiously optimistic, emphasizing his readiness for a new challenge and the allure of joining a storied franchise like Pittsburgh. Given Rodgers' competitive nature and desire to contend for another championship before the twilight of his career, the Steelers' offer could represent a perfect alignment of opportunity and ambition. Observers have noted that the Steelers' management has been quietly exploring quarterback options, and the potential acquisition of a player of Rodgers' caliber would mark one of the most high-profile moves of the offseason. Of course, this emerging narrative is not without its skeptics. Some insiders caution that negotiations in the NFL can be notoriously complex and protracted, with many rumored trades or signings falling through at the final hurdle. Moreover, questions remain about how Rodgers would fit into Pittsburgh's offensive system and whether the Steelers' roster is equipped to support a championship run centered around him. Yet, the very fact that Rodgers chose this moment to hint at a Steelers' future only adds fuel to the fire, suggesting that something significant may indeed be brewing behind the scenes. Fans have already begun envisioning what a Rodgers-led Steelers offense might look like, blending the quarterback's precision passing with Pittsburgh's traditionally physical style. Social media is abuzz with speculation, mock drafts, and potential lineups, reflecting the enormous appetite for confirmation or denial. For now, the NFL world remains on tenterhooks, eagerly awaiting further developments that could reshape the trajectory of one of football's greatest players and one of its most iconic franchises. In conclusion, while nothing is official, the possibility of Aaron Rodgers joining the Pittsburgh Steelers is an electrifying prospect that has captured the attention of the entire football universe. As more pieces fall into place, fans and analysts alike will be watching closely to see if this tantalizing rumor evolves into one of the most sensational moves in recent NFL history. Until then, the buzz continues to grow, and the Steelers' quarterback saga enters a thrilling new chapter. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.